So folks, figured I'd do another quality of life video, talk about this cooler I've got. It's something I got off Amazon. It's showing 33 degrees right now. It's, it's a brand that I've never heard of before. I'm not exactly sure if that's the brand or if that's the model. F40C4TMP. Sounds like a Ferrari model. But anyway, so I've had this about a month and a half, and this thing does freeze way down. It goes down to 0. But it's got some room in it. It keeps things really cold or frozen. There's big old block ice in this water and whatnot. And this thing's pretty much frozen solid. So yeah, it works really good. I mean, it's quiet. It runs off a cigarette lighter plug or a regular AC plug, but I got it running off a cigarette lighter plug now. I've never had any issues with it. My meat's frozen solid. I got some pork chops here, but I use this every day. I eat out of it. I just really like this thing. And I paid a lot less money for this than what you'd pay for one of those Dometic coolers that you see. And I'm trying to show the brand there, but whatever. Anyway, so I paid a lot less, for this than what I paid for a Dometic cooler that you'll see at like Petro. Those things, I believe a friend of mine was telling me that he saw one yesterday for $1,200, which it's going to be bigger than this. But this, I paid $300 for this, which, it's a lot of money for a cooler. But if you consider how much money you pay for those damned Igloo coolers, the ones that, not Igloo, Coleman, the ones that go out after 6 months and whatnot, and they make a lot of noise and everything else, or the Road Pro ones in the truck stop, I've had several of those, the little small, like, it's supposed to sit in between the seats or whatever. And they just never work right. I mean, well, they do work, but you can't control the temperature on them, and they just go out after a while and start, you end up wasting a bunch of money. And I don't think you can get a Coleman for less than $150 now, maybe $130, something like that. I haven't actually walked into the truck stop and looked at them, but I know they're quite expensive considering how flimsy they are and how fast they break down. And if you go to Coleman, you complain about it. They're like, well, we don't design these for all the time use. They're only designed for part-time use and whatnot. Well, why the hell do you sell them in the truck stops? Why don't you sell something like this at the truck stop? Well, like I said, the Dometic one that you'll see at Petro sometimes, like over in Dodge City in Alabama, probably over at Kenley, and any of those better Petros, you'll see them, but they're god awful expensive. I wouldn't want to pay that. So like I said, I paid like $300 for this on Amazon, and really, it's, I hated paying that kind of money for something like this, but it really is some of the best money I've ever spent on something like this. It makes a lot of sense. This cooler does the trick, and it's another one I would highly suggest. Like I said, I've had it about a month and a half. I've not had any issues out of it. It's quiet. It works great. It just does whatever the hell I wanted to do. I got it up in the passenger seat now because it's just out of the way. But I mean, you can see it doesn't block my view or anything like that. So it's got a kind of a low enough profile to where it's not in the way. I've seen some people, man, they've got freaking coolers and whatnot that go halfway up the damn passenger window. I'm like, I like to be able to see when I drive, so I don't want nothing like that. But that's whatever. But anyway, you got the buttons over here. It's a little wonky and everything, but it's got instructions on how to use it right here. But it's pretty simple overall. It does have a USB port, I guess, so you can charge crap, whatever. But either way, I don't ever use that. I just keep it. I keep it set on 34 degrees and have it do its thing. The temperature will fluctuate up and down a little bit, but it's never within more than like a 5 or 10 degree range. Or I mean, it doesn't get hot except for when you put something like if you open up a brand new pack of drinks or something like that, they're at room temperature. If you put those in there, it's going to heat up in there, but it'll cool down pretty quick. So overall, I would highly recommend that, you know, this cooler or something like it from Amazon. I'll put a link in the description to this one that I bought, but I mean, feel free to look at reviews and other models and whatnot, but don't go buy the Dometic cooler freezer before you look at some of these, because I think these might be a better option, even though this is some Chinese thing or whatever. But I mean, not everything from China is terrible. I mean, I like General Tso's chicken. So anyway, let me know in the description, I mean in the comments, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video where I'll show you why, how I cook these pork chops.